All right, fifth graders, this is Mr. Combs here, and we are going to do a video for the week of May 18th, day one, and this is all standard 5 OA1. The first thing that I want you to do is there was a couple typos on our packet that we sent home with you guys. So I want you to rewrite this first problem as parentheses 3/4 times 4 in parentheses plus 5 minus 3. Okay, so pause the video now, get that done so you can correctly answer this question. So first thing we're going to do is at the very bottom, we are going to take a note and we are going to write P, E, M, D, A, S. And so this right here is what we call the order of operations. And so this is going to tell us what steps we'll do first to solve this problem. So P stands for parentheses. I'm just going to do a little parentheses sign. E stands for exponents. So for example, right, we could do like 10 to the third. That's our exponent right there. M is going to stand for multiplication. D is going to stand for division. A is going to stand for addition. And S is going to stand for subtraction. So we will first look to see if there's any parentheses. We'll solve those first, and then we'll go from there. So here I do see there is a parentheses. And so I'm going to do a little arrow, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to do 3/4 times 4 wholes. I know 4 wholes written as a fraction is 4/1. 3 times 4 is going to give me 12. 4 times 1 is going to give me 4, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that back into a whole number. I'm going to think about how many times 4 goes into 12. I know it goes in 3 times, so that answer is going to be 3. And so now I'm going to keep moving. I don't see any exponents. I don't see any multiplication in here. I don't see any division. And then the next one is addition, and I do see addition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 now. That's from my parentheses. Plus 5, okay? So we'll just rewrite this entire equation as we have it now. So 3 plus 5 minus 3. First thing we're going to do that addition. 3 plus 5 gives me 8. 8 minus 3 now. That 3 is going to go down there. 8 minus 3 is going to give me 5. So that correct answer, I'm going to write it up top. That correct answer is going to be 5, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to keep moving. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to think about our PEMDAS, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, all right? And we are going to solve this inequality for which one is greater than or less than. So we will keep moving and we'll get to it. So first thing, I'm going to solve this left-hand side. The first thing I'm going to look at, do I have any parentheses? Nope. Any exponents? Nope. Multiplication? Yes, I do have multiplication. So we're going to do 30 times 9. 30 times 9 equals. The way I would do this, think about your basic fact, okay? 3 times 9 gives me 27. I'm going to take that 0. It's going to go on the back. And we're going to get 270. And so now we're going to look to our division. I'm going to do 270 divided by 3, okay? 3 cannot go into 2. 3 can go into 27. It goes in 9 times, okay? 3 times 9 gives me 27. 27 minus 27 gives me 0. We still have to remember that 0 in our ones place, so he's going to drop down. 3 cannot go into 0, so we'd write 0 times. I know that 270 divided by 3 now is equal to 90. So what I'm going to do for this guy, up top, I'm just going to write 90 is equal to 30 times 9 divided by 3. Okay, we're going to go through the same process again. Okay, and so I'm going to look for parentheses. In this one, I don't have any parentheses. I'm going to look for exponents. I don't have any exponents. I do have multiplication, and that multiplication is going to be 40 times 7. So 40 times 7, basic fact, same thing again. 4 times 7 is going to give me 28. I'm going to take that 0, and he's going to go all the way to the very end. That's going to give me 280. 280 now. I'm going to divide that by 2, okay? All right, 280 divided by 2, we will do standard algorithm, okay? All right, I know that 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 minus 2 gives me 0. That 8 drops all the way down. Okay, 2 goes into 8 4 times. Okay, 2 times 4 gives me 8. 8 minus 8 gives me 0. 0 in the ones place still drops down. He still matters. We're still going to count him. 2 cannot go into 0, and so we will say it goes in 0 times. So the answer to that question is going to be 140. And so this whole thing all the way written out, okay, 40 times 7 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 140. And so I know that 140 is greater than 90. So if we were to read that out, 30 times 9 divided by 3 is less than 40 times 7 divided by 2, okay? And so we are going to keep on moving. We're going to keep trucking, and I'm going to rewrite PEMDAS down here, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Excuse me. And we're going to get going. So first thing I'm going to look for is, do I have parentheses? And I do. So the first thing I'm going to solve is I'm going to do 2 times 10 to the third. Okay? I know that 10 to the third, that represents 10 times 10 times 10. Okay? I know that 10 times 10 gives me 100. Okay? Times another 10 is going to give me 1,000. So when I'm looking at this now, 2 times 1,000 is going to give me 2,000. Okay, so I have 2,000, and so now I'm going to kind of rewrite this to include this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 32 divided by 8 plus 2,000, okay? And now this is where our kind of order of operations, our PEMDAS is going to come in handy, okay? So the first thing we're going to look at, do I have parentheses? Nope, got rid of those. Exponents? Nope, got rid of those. Multiplication? No multiplication in this one, but we do have division, so I'm going to do 32 divided by 8. 32 divided by 8 is going to give me 4, and so now we have 4 plus 2,000. 4 plus 2,000, of course. My final thing to solve this equation is going to be 2,004. Okay? 2004. Alrighty, 2004. I think that was the year that I was actually in 5th grade. So, for the next one, number 4, for each expression, circle yes or no if the expression is equivalent to the product of 3 and 4. So, first thing we're going to look at, we're going to kind of break this down a little bit. So, we're going to circle yes or no. If the expression is equivalent, I know that the word equivalent means equal to the product. Okay, that tells me I'm using multiplication. I'm going to do a little multiplication sign so I know 3 and 4. Okay, so the product of 3 and 4, 3 times 4 is going to equal 12. So I'm just going to make a little note right there. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to bust out my handy dandy notebook, and I'm going to have this so I can use a little bit of scratch paper. So the first one I'm going to look at, I'm going to scoot this all the way up. We're looking to see if this equals 12. So I'm going to rewrite it on this paper right here. So I'm going to do 2 times 6 minus 6 equals, okay, remembering my PEMDAS, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, okay. First thing I'm going to do is that parentheses, 2 times 6, that gives me 12. Now I'm going to do 12 minus 6, gives me 6, okay. I know that that is not going to be equal to 12, so my first answer for A is going to be no. So that's going to be A. Now we're going to do B. Okay, so I have 2 times 3 times 6 minus 24. So first thing I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to do my parentheses. 3 times 6 gives me 18. I'm going to rewrite it. So I have all those facts. Okay, now I'm going to look and I see I have some multiplication. Multiplication is going to come before subtraction. 2 times 18. I'm going to kind of break this down. I know 2 times 10 gives me 20. 2 times 8 gives me 16. 2 times 18 is going to be 36. Then we're going to do 36 minus 24. All right. I'm going to do that kind of in standard algorithm over here. 6 minus 4 gives me 2. 3 minus 2 gives me 1. My answer is going to be 12. So for B, as in Bobcat, we would say yes. And so for the next one, we have C. So we're going to say 6 times 8 divided by 4. So same thing. We're going to do this first. 6 times 8, I know, is going to be 48. Divided by 4. I'm going to kind of rely on some of my multiplication facts here. I know that 4 times 12 is going to give me 48, so 48 divided by 4 is going to give me 12. So for C, we would say yes. I do want you to look at D, because I think D, we made a little typo. I want you to put a 2 in front of that 4 right there. If we don't do that, we'd end up in negative numbers. So we're going to do 24 minus 3 times parentheses 3 times 4 in parentheses divided by 2. And so I'll do this one on my paper since I have a little bit more room here at the bottom. So we're going to do 3 times 4 gives me 12. That's my first parentheses. I'm going to rewrite the entire thing. 24 minus 3 times 12 divided by 2. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do 3 times 12. That gives me 36. I'm going to rewrite it again. 24 minus 36 divided by 2 equals, okay, I know that 36 divided by 2, I'm going to do that over here really quick, standard algorithm. 36 divided by 2, 2 goes into 3 one time. 2 times 1 gives me 2. 3 minus 2 gives me 1. Drop that 6 down. 2 goes into 16. 8 times 16 minus 16 gives me 0. So we're going to rewrite that as 24 minus 18 now. I know that 24 minus 18 is going to give me 6. So the answer for that is going to be no. So I'm going to kind of scoot this back a little bit. I'm going to lift up my handy dandy iPad. Okay. All right. I would encourage you to pause the video, and I will let you guys get to it. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for starting your week off with some awesome math.